Yeah, so welcome back. This is the third video on cheese. The last video we just looked a little bit at the textures that there are. This time we're going to look at flavour and strength, a little bit about some of the blue cheeses that there are. So on the board today we've got some Lincolnshire poacher. This is a smoked poacher. So they produce the cheeses much like a cheddar, traditional cheddar, or an Alpine cheese. Exactly the same art and science in all of the cheeses, in that they have to remove the whey and then press the curds. And these cheeses will be looked at on a daily basis until they are 3 months mature. And then they will decide which cheeses they're going to pick to go on to be vintage cheeses, and which they might actually set aside that they might smoke. Smoking is interesting. Smoking can be done by either a traditional oak smoked method, like a cold smoked method like you would use for smoked salmon or smoked haddock. In this case, this cheese is done just exactly like that. Or it can be injected with flavour, which you don't get the intensity, and sometimes that is then masked with other flavours such as paprika, which they use in applewood. So this is a lovely naturally smoked cheddar cheese. Behind that is the Stilton. Stilton is produced only in 3 counties in the UK: Leicestershire, Derbyshire and Nottinghamshire. And this particular one is a Colston Bassett Stilton. Interestingly, there are no blue Stiltons now produced with raw milk, and all of them are produced with penicillin Roquefort, which is the same penicillin that they use for the Roquefort cheese in France. Light, dry, sort of crumbly texture, again about 3 to 6 months maturing, and it will develop a really sort of quite intense flavour. Moving on to the Red Leicester. Red Leicester, very bright in colour, very much an addition of annatto which gives it this colour. Historically, this was put back in the late 40s to distinguish it from White Leicester, and White Leicester had been produced at the time of rationing through the World War II. Although the cheese has been produced for many centuries, it's only in the last 60 years or so, 70 years or so, that the colour has been returned. Not too strong. Developed in much the same way as the Lincolnshire poacher. It's actually a truckle cheese. There are various producers of Leicester cheese, not necessarily all in Leicestershire, but still a very, very good cheese. This side we've got something called a washed rind cheese. Now these tend to develop their flavours and be really, really strong. This one is Epoisse and is actually washed with something called Mar de Bourgogne. So a French cheese from the Burgundy region, and washed with a little bit of a liqueur. It's soft, it's runny, it's very intense in flavour, and always presented in a little box like this. You can get larger ones, and you can buy them as halves, but this is a beautiful example, nice and rich and ripe and ready for service. On the other end of the scale, similarly nice and soft, is this Bath soft cheese. This will again have a light, delicate, mushroomy, creamy sort of texture to it. So complete opposite to the Epoisse, although the consistency of the cheese will be very much the same. So there we go, a variety of textures and strengths across this little cheese board. And next we're going to look at what we would serve as an accompaniment to go with all of these cheeses and the previous ones we've shown in our videos.